Hey, I'm back with another 5 minutes of content planning and marketing outcome creation, tips and info and insights and context. I just posted a video and I talked a little bit about content planning when you're overwhelmed and how to differentiate between the different platforms. What I didn't talk about ultimately was how to really plan your content around outcomes, even though that was maybe assumed in the first video. So I want to talk a little bit today about the marketing outcomes you're creating with your content, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be marketing your business online for, just because, and doing that whole spray and pray kind of thing. So I want you to think about how can I post with purpose, with pride, and with pleasure and get my message out there. So what I want you to think about are working with the end in mind kind of ideas. So what I think is the most easiest way to make your marketing more effective and give it some momentum, is to attach a call to action with your content. So whenever you're sharing content at the end of the post, at the beginning of the post, wherever you put it, I want you to think of like, how can I guide people to more information based on the marketing outcome I want to create? So, do I want them in marketing outcomes? I'll just kind of like list off a few different things that you can think about and design your content around. So, one of those things is around just driving traffic to your website, encouraging people to book a call with you, encouraging people to engage and interact with your content so that you get more visibility online. Those are just three of some of the very common reasons to be marketing online. Some of the top reasons I see people marketing online would be to build their lead gen, build their visibility, stay top of mind with their audience, to obviously make sales. So including and incorporating a link or a next step kind of prompt with your content is one of the number one ways to make your content more effective. Now, there is an old school rule that a lot of us like to follow and not everybody knows about, but it's a bit of an etiquette thing. So when you are planning your content marketing, the whole idea is that it's not always about you, right? So we want to apply what I believe it was potentially Amy Porterfield back in 2013, where she said, apply an 80-20 split to your marketing efforts, where 80% of your content is for the user, for the follower, for the like, and the other 20% is for the business. So those call to actions, those like gimmicky type things. However, a piece of content that still helps your audience still helps your business. So when you can educate them, when you can give them advice, when you can entertain them, when you can curate content for them, you're being of service. And that is like that falls into that 80% container and kind of etiquette rule around marketing outcomes and how you post online. So another thing to think about is when you are creating your content is to really make it easy for people to take that next step. So making sure that your links work, that your pages are loading, that your automations are working. And it sounds really, really basic. And even as a marketer, I've fallen into the trap of assuming that my website is working, assuming that my opt-ins are working. And my biggest truth lesson today would be to go back to your call to actions and to your directions and prompts for your users and make sure that they are fully functional. So make sure that those links are not broken, that that opt-in page loads the right content and triggers the right email, and that it's adding those contacts into your system. All of these can be really, really painful when you find out that for some reason a backend upgrade or plugin stopped working and then you're not collecting that information anymore. Speaking here with a bit of truth here, this happened to me in December when I tried to fill out one of my opt-ins and I realized it wasn't working anymore. And it went down a whole rabbit hole of tech and functionality, which prompted me actually to shift my whole site onto a different platform and hosting background because the old one wasn't up to standards anymore with the PHP backend. So, yeah, that's a frustrating lesson to learn, but something to think about when you're creating your content plan to make it work for you. If you have any questions like this, pop them in the comments below. I'll be sure to check. Tag me if you can, and have a great day. Bye for now.